I'm Dr. Bo Tucker. Glad you're here on the Nutrition Challenge HRG. Today we're going to talk about how to get safe with activity, try to get more activity. We're going to do a good, better, best opportunity for you today. This is Jake. He's our clinical exercise specialist. He's going to talk a little bit about today about how to get physical activity safe in your activity.
Excellent. So I'm Jake. I work with Dr. Bo. I do a lot of the exercise conditioning, and so we want to talk about helping you guys get in better shape a little bit at a time without creating injury. So as Bo mentioned, we're going to kind of talk about a couple of phases of progression with that. But the big thing I want to talk about is when we're walking, you want to pay attention to your gait and your hip movement and your hip pattern. So I don't know if you can see this good on the video here, but what I'm looking for is when you're walking, I want to make sure that when you step down on your foot, I want it to be a heel, midfoot, toe, and then push into the next step. I want to make sure the knee is over my second toe. So what we're watching for is if you catch yourself doing this, where the foot's turning out and the knee's caving in, and you're having any type of knee, hip, or ankle pain, these are scenarios that Dr. Bo and I work on all the time in our office to help correct. Along with that, you may notice a shifting in your pelvis when you step. You may get a hip shift or a drop. So I want you to be aware of those kind of things, because what we're looking for is nice balance through the hip, heel strike, knee in line with second toe, and walking through that pattern. As Dr. Bo wants to come back over here again, what we're gonna talk to you guys about now is a good, better, best progression of activity levels. So if you're at HRG and you're gonna walk here to the park, I'll let Bo explain kind of what that looks like.
So we did the walk. It takes about 20 minutes all the way around. So if you come in, you get to the park, and then you go to the right and kind of make a circle and come back around. That takes just about 12 or 13 minutes, and if you go back to the park, that's another 6 or 7 minutes. So that's kind of a good opportunity for physical activity is to do around the park, come back to HRG. Perfect. Best thing to do is get a friend, have them do it with you, and do it on a regular basis. Maybe 3-4 times a week. If you're working 4 days, try to do it at least 3 of the 4 days. That's a good way to do it. That's a good. Now, if you're doing better, Jake's going to take it better for us.
Okay, so better, if we go to the better, we're going to look for a little bit faster pace on the walk. And once we get around here to one of these benches, we're going to add in a few exercises just to get the rest of the metabolism up and working. So when you're walking, you'll notice that you're not getting a lot of movement in your hip. You're actually just getting a slight hip swing. So what I'm going to look for is we're going to come over by this bench here, and we're going to do body weight squats where we just shift our hips back, go up and down, keep the torso nice and neutral. And I just want to start off with about 10 repetitions on that. So we're going to start with some squatting movements. Next, we're going to use the back of this bench for a couple of upper body push-ups. So we're just going to go this way, and of course you're not going to hear me talk here, but we're going to go here, and we're going to do about just 10 simple push-ups. It's a modified push-up. If you're healthy and super strong, you could just do them on the ground, but that's a modified push-up. That's going to kind of work the upper body and shoulders. And then the other type of hip motion we want is not just flexion of the hip, we want extension of the hip. So we're going to come over, we're going to do a couple of step-ups. Again, this is a progression. As you're doing the step up, the same thing applies as the walking pattern, is keeping that knee in line with the second toe, not letting that hip drop and that knee cave in. So we're just coming here and going up and down, and I want about 10 to 15 repetitions on each leg of that as well. So that's going to be your better routine, is to add that in along with the rest of your walk.
If you want to throw a couple body dips in there, you can come along here, put your hands down here, take the feet out, okay? If you're not too good at it, start this way. Take the legs out further, a little bit more of a challenge, but do 10, 12 reps of this. And then you can try to do every park bench as you go around. The more you do, the more upper body activity and lower body you're going to include with what you're doing. Oh, okay. And then best, we thought about maybe doing some jogging. So if you're doing the best routine, you take a little bit of a jog as you come up. And as you come up around the south side of this park area here, there's some dirt trails that take up over and go to the YMCA. You might take a venture out to the Y and circle back. But again, if you're jogging the whole time, you probably will make it about 25 to 30 minutes if you're jogging the whole way.
Right. Slow progression is everything. We're trying to do this pain-free, so you want to start with a little, build up over time. If you got any of those problems or complications, again, Bo and I specialize in being able to help you correct those to help you reach your weight loss goals. So,
and if you start having pain, as you start getting more physical activity, we can actually help you out and try to keep you pain-free as you're doing your increase in activity. Thank you so much. Good luck on the challenge, and I hope things are going great.